If you're looking for a channel that talks about biblical masculinity, welcome. I'm Brunzi, and today we'll discuss the Triangle of Masculinity. First, we have to count how many genders there are in this world, because there are so many. I don't want you to get confused, of course. There's male, female, and that's it. Yeah, that's it actually. And there's a lot of differences between male and female. One of them is the stage of maturity and how do we reach it. For women, it's simple. They are born girls, and when they reach sexual maturity, they become women. But even though women are more complex than men, speaking of the stage of maturity and how do we reach it, they are much more simpler than us. They're more simple. I think simpler is the word. But okay. We as men, we are born boys, and if we don't aim to become men and don't do certain things, a boy can stay a boy even if when he's 90 years old. You can die a boy without ever becoming a man. And how do boys become men? I would like to refer to the ancient times, for example, Romans or Spartans. When boys were 12 years old, they were taken from their mothers by other men. And they have put them in the wilderness to test them if they're worthy of the label men. They have to figure it out by themselves. They have, I don't know how many days, let's say they had a week in nature. And if they came back as men. Many of them didn't come back. It's cruel, but it's a nature of masculinity. I'm not saying we should do this in this day and age, but I think men should go to military. And when you come back, you came as a boy and you get out as a man. We have in my country like 3 months military service. And you get paid, I think, $4,000, something like that. My friend do it. I'm doing this summer. As you could read in the title, the topic of the video is the Triangle of Masculinity. Why a triangle? To be honest, I'm not sure, but something clicked in my mind like a month ago about what a man should be doing. What should be his top focuses while creating a life that attracts quality women or keeps quality women. And the first angle of the triangle is muscles. There's a lot of men I know, like older guys who are really masculine people, but they don't have the frame, they don't have the body of a warrior. They're masculine because they're good at what they're doing. They stand up for themselves. They stand up for the values they believe in and for the people they love. But why would that be important to have muscles on your body, to be muscular? My girlfriend sent me a reel, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, about a journalist talking to a pedophile or child molester. And she asked him about how did he pick his victims? Because normally kids aren't walking alone in streets. They have parents next to them. And he said he wouldn't attack if the father presented a threat. So basically, if you're not presenting a threat to the outside world, your kids and your wife aren't safe. As simple as that. And what is the best way to get muscles?
The gym, my friend!
I think every male on this planet older than, let's say, 14, should be doing some weight training, some exercises for strength, for body strength. Even if you're a construction worker, even you're a farmer, you should be doing that. But if you're a construction worker, you should be doing it less. But every man should be physically strong, period. Let's say you have the muscles, but that's all about you. Like, there is no other thing than muscles. I'm not saying intellectually, I'm just saying physically. If you have the muscles and you can't or don't know how to use them in a fight, you're basically just, how do you call those people? A model. Yeah. You're useless, big, muscular, even though handsome, but a useless man. And what I'm saying is, you should start practicing martial arts, any kind of martial arts. I remember my beginning of the martial art journey. I was with my buddy 1 year ago in Czech Republic, and we were going to the gym let's say, almost every day, let's say 4 times a week. And in the gym, there is a small gym inside, which is made for martial arts. And I always wanted to do that, just didn't know how to start. And then my friend, of course, encouraged me to go talk to the guy, the tough guy, who was like the boss of the boxing Muay Thai gym. And I have to say thank you to that friend, because I think I would go anyway myself, but he encouraged me, so I did it earlier and had more practices. I worked out more if it wasn't for him. But of course, me being a friend to him as well, I said, bro, want to join me? Come on, let's go together. And his answer was, no, thank you. I don't think the chance of getting attacked is worth my time practicing martial arts. Something like that, I'm not sure. Because he thinks that it's the chance of you getting attacked is tiny, like very, very small. And I told him, bro, yes, of course, in Central Europe, where we live, it's not that big of a chance you're gonna get attacked. But there is a chance. And if you don't want to learn how to fight, you're refusing to be ready. You're literally putting yourself in this vulnerable position where you cannot handle a situation if the situation escalates. And that is unacceptable. But these two angles of triangle we talked about now are very connected. They're both about being physical, being physically prepared, being physically strong. But they are not as important as the top of the triangle, which is money. I was living in a Christian family, and we were middle class, let's say, financially. And the life from the financial perspective was good. I'm not saying we were poor or anything, but we weren't rich, and my family doesn't have the ambition to be rich, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I was raised in a way that the money is evil. And when people get money, they become bad people, even though they were good before. And of course, I think that is true to some extent, but it cannot happen if you follow Jesus. If you're making money, making muscles, and practicing martial arts, you're doing these 3 things so you can be the best version of yourself, the best husband, the best father, and to serve your wife and your kids. And if you're serving your wife and your kids, you're serving God at the same time, because that's what He wants us to do. He wants us to be strong, masculine fathers and husbands. All these 3 things are connected to the verse provide and protect. You provide money, so food, shelter, and you provide safety by money and by your physical body. And that is what it's all about. You're not a man if you don't provide and protect for your loved ones. It's your duty, bro. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying from a perspective from a guy who is perfect in anything or is excellent in any of those things. I'm a beginner, probably like you. I'm starting to believe and starting to realize these things, and I'm working on them, as we all should. So thank you for watching my video. I hope you like it, and see you next time. God bless you, bro.